Hi everybody, Todd Anderson back with another playtest video today with a Mr. Braun-Duin. Today I'm going to be playing a Reed Duke's Bant control list, and I say Bant, but it has an extra color in it. Basically splashing black just for Nephalia Drown-Yard. But we're going to go and take a look at the deck before we get started. First up, Reed plays one of each Planeswalker. One Jace the Mind Sculptor, Jace Architect of Thought, not quite as good as Mind Sculptor. One Tamiyo the Moon Sage. The creature base that he plays is rather odd, I think, but I kind of like it, even though it's a little weird. We have two Augur of Bolas to help dig for our millions of instants and sorceries. 4th Ragtusk as our finisher, as well as just a large body that gains life. Hard to kill. The games go really long, so you can usually get full value out of it. And then a Singleton Restoration Angel to get additional value out of the Thragtusks, and to provide you with a flying blocker, as well as the 3/4 body, which is pretty nice against most of the aggro decks. As far as card draw is concerned, we have 4 Think Twice, a full 4 Sphinx's Revelation, which I love, but it is a little clunky at times, but the deck is so mana hungry that all you want to do is just play card draw spells and then wrath the board and then, you know, play Sphinx's Revelation and draw a million. So we also have one Amass the Components, which sort of fills out the draw curve. I'm not sure that it's actually good. Hopefully it'll pull its weight. I hope it's just not a dead card in this matchup. But we have 2 Azorius Charms, 1 Detention Sphere, and 4 Supreme Verdict as our removal. 4 Dissipate to hold off the more annoying threats that we can't normally deal with, such as like Thragtusk, Planeswalkers, and the like. We have 4 Farseek to help mana ramp us into our spells, and then 1 Elixir Immortality. And this is kind of the card that I think separates this deck from the other control decks, because Reed knows that the deck goes really long, and sometimes, and the way it's built, like sometimes you actually just can't kill them with your first 60 cards. So having the Elixir allows you to have the potential to deck them if you get into like a Nephalia Drown-Yard war, but also it buys you 5 life, shuffles everything back in, and lets you start sifting through your deck again with Sphinx's Revelation. And at that point, you have almost all your lands in play, so every card you draw is going to be a spell. So the mana base is pretty interesting. We do have the 1 Overgrown Tomb to help activate the Nephalia Drown-Yard. It's the only black dual land that we can Farseek for, and the fact that it's green is good because it helps us cast our green spells, obviously. We don't want to play, like, the Rakdos land, Blood Crypt. But we also have 1 Alchemist Refuge, and this card's kind of interesting because when we hit 7 mana, we can start Alchemist Refuging and then casting Supreme Verdict, and that helps us deal with creatures that have haste. It also allows us to flash in Thragtusk and occasional sideboard cards. We have 2 Cavernous Souls to help our spells resolve, and then a ton of dual lands, and then 2 islands. So, alright, well that's the main deck. We're going to go and take a look at the sideboard. So as you can see, the sideboard has 5 additional removal spells with a 2nd Detention Sphere, 2 Azorius Charm, and 2 Terminus. The Terminus, I think, are especially good in the black-red zombie matchup. Rarely going to activate the Miracle on them, but when you do, it's usually pretty awesome. The 3rd and 4th Azorius Charms help out against the aggro matchups. When it's not good, you can always just cycle it. And then the Detention Sphere helps out against like Messengers, Planeswalkers, and the like. We have a 2nd Restoration Angel and 2 Sigardas, so that when we need to be aggressive in some matchups, we have the option to. And the fact that Restoration Angel and Sigarda are both angels help our caverns be more relevant against decks like Flash. We have a Pithing Needle to help out against Planeswalkers. There are some other things that we might want to Pithing Needle. It just depends on the matchup. Like, there are some weird permanents in Standard that this deck can't normally deal with sometimes. But normally it's just for Planeswalkers. We have 2 Dispel and 2 Negate to help win Counterspell wars against the other control decks. And then 2 Centaur Healers to come in against the aggro decks. And these obviously work pretty well with Restoration Angel. And pretty well alongside Thragtusk. So, alright guys, well that is the Bant control deck. Mr. Reed Duke's 75 from the most recent Grand Prix, where he made his 2nd top 8 in a row with the same archetype, which is kind of interesting. But we'll be right back for the playtest video. Thanks for watching.